Ladies and gentlemen, this is your Monday Night Raw review on Monday, March 22nd, 2021. This is the Raw after last night's Fastlane pay-per-view, and I believe 3 weeks, 19 days until WrestleMania 37. We got a lot to talk about tonight. I'm having a pretty good night myself. I hope you guys are having a good night. I hope you're enjoying your Monday night. But we got a lot to talk about on the Raw review tonight, with matches being set for WrestleMania and what matches are happening on what night. We got 3 matches confirmed for Saturday and 2 matches confirmed for the Sunday show. We got a lot to talk about tonight, so I thank you for joining me here on the Big Fight Field channel. I kind of just want to dive right into it. It's just one of those nights where I don't really feel like doing an intro, and I want to dive in right into what I have to say. So, if you guys have not already, make sure you check out episode 3 of the Big Fight Field podcast from this past Saturday. I just got something on my arm, so I'm good. I just felt something, but I'm good. Make sure you check out episode 3 of the Big Fight Fuel podcast on Saturday. And make sure you check out last night's Fastlane review with Earl Cole, who I'd like to thank for coming on the channel last night. So if you haven't checked those out, make sure you check those videos out. Monday Night Raw tonight. The Raw after Fastlane started off with Bobby Lashley versus Sheamus. They had a rematch. This thing's really bothering me now. But we had a rematch with Bobby Lashley and Sheamus from last week's Raw. They had a good match tonight to open up Raw. I think WWE needs to do this more often because it's repetitive over and over and over again that they love opening up their program, whether it's Raw or SmackDown. NXT usually has a match first. They love opening up their program with a 15 to 20 minute long promo. And I just hate that. It's a bad way to start off your show. You're not getting right into the action. And I feel like that's not really gluing in your audience. So having a match start off the show is a thing they should do more often, in my opinion. So we had this match that opened up the show. They had a good match. Bobby Lashley and Sheamus did. Sheamus taps out after 15 minutes to the Hurt Lock after help from Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin. Then after the match, the Hurt Business actually goes to attack Sheamus. Out comes Drew McIntyre for the save. Drew McIntyre then gets into a face-to-face with Bobby Lashley. And MVP is like, business, not emotions. Business. Wait till WrestleMania. WrestleMania. So he's basically telling Bobby Lashley, just wait it out until WrestleMania. So that was the first thing on the show. They had a good match. Sheamus is on a losing streak right now. We'll talk about him in a later segment. But as for Lashley and McIntyre, it's not over with them either for tonight. As McIntyre was going into a 2-on-1 handicap match with Alexander and Shelton Benjamin. And if McIntyre beat those two in a handicap match, then those two are banned from ringside at WrestleMania. And I'll talk about that later in the review. But next we had Peyton Royce versus Asuka. We had a couple weeks ago, Peyton Royce cut an incredible promo on Raw Talk saying, just give me a chance. Let's see what happens and all that stuff. She cut a very heartfelt, emotional promo, and it led to a match with Asuka tonight. And I can say, I appreciate Peyton Royce it seems like she wants to get better. Ever since the breakup of her and Billy Kay with the Iconics, I could tell that she has wanted to get better as an active wrestler, but she still has a long way to go. She still has, excuse me. Ooh. She still has a long way to go. This match with Asuka, I'm not going to say it was bad, but her offense, Peyton Royce, is very soft, and it just doesn't come off good at all, in my opinion. So Asuka taps her out in 11 minutes. You know, they had a fine match, whatever. But then after the match, Rhea Ripley comes out. They were promoting it since, I believe, Saturday, that Rhea Ripley was going to make her debut on Monday Night Raw. She then grabs the microphone. She says, Asuka, she says, on the first night of me being on Raw a couple weeks ago, Charlotte said in the ring that she was next in line for the Raw Women's Championship. But now Charlotte's not here because she has COVID. I'm shocked that Rhea said the word COVID because WWE don't really say that word much on television. And I'll actually get to that full story with Charlotte and Andrade after I'm done talking this. So Rhea says, so I'm asking you a question, and I need an answer. Will you defend your Raw Women's Championship against the Nightmare, myself, at WrestleMania? And Asuka accepts. Rhea points to the WrestleMania sign, and we are getting Asuka versus Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania for the Raw Women's Championship. That is going to be a great match. It is fresh. It's new. It's not Charlotte Flair. I would have been very pissed off, actually, if it was Charlotte Flair, because we've seen that she's been in a championship match at WrestleMania since WrestleMania 32. And now we're getting this fresh match with Rhea Ripley, and I'm honestly really excited for that match. But obviously, Charlotte was plan A. Charlotte went on Twitter. First of all, Andrade got released yesterday, last night, after Fastlane. WWE came out and said that Andrade has been released and wish him nothing but the best in his future endeavors. All that. So I'm guessing Charlotte was involved in that situation. She then came out tonight and said, I know everyone has been wondering where I have been. I tested positive for COVID, and I have been home resting. Thank you, everyone, for your love. So Charlotte is out with COVID. She's done. She's not done, but she's probably more than likely not going to be at WrestleMania. Now, as far as Andrade is concerned, he was released last night, and a lot of people was like, wow, they just let Andrade go like that, because originally last week on the Raw review, I was talking about how Andrade's request was denied. He got denied by upper management. Then today, I don't know how accurate this is, but this came out about the Andrade releasing, and I'm about to read it to you. It says, the full story hasn't officially broke yet, but the information being passed around to journalists within the company is that Charlotte Flair threatened to walk if they didn't give Andrade his release. So, one of the top female wrestlers, the fiancée of Andrade, Charlotte, threatened to walk out on the company. Let's continue. It's also being said from a few people that Ric Flair was involved and behind Charlotte 100%. It's being speculated that WWE would only agree to the release if Charlotte sat out WrestleMania, thinking that she would choose the event over Andrade, which she clearly didn't. And listen, man, WWE is very petty. They are very petty in this situation with Andrade and not giving him his release that he wanted last week. And then this story comes out. I'll tell you what. I sent out a tweet today. It blew up. And if this is true, and Charlotte threatened to walk out, and she chose Andrade, she chose to what she wanted. She chose Andrade being happy over being on WrestleMania. If this is all true, then I might have gained more respect for Charlotte Flair for doing that because it's the right move. She wants to see her fiance happy. She wants to see Andrade happy and do what's best. And she wants him to do what's best for him. And clearly she knows that being in the WWE, a company where he's going nowhere, if that's best for him, then clearly she's going to want that for him. So I'm happy that Andrade is getting what he wants. He's out of the company. Hope Charlotte Flair is okay, and she's going to recover from COVID, and she's not on the WrestleMania card this year. She pretty much, if that's true, and she chose Andrade over WrestleMania, then she's probably not on the WrestleMania card. And that is why, folks, that is why WWE debuted Rhea Ripley tonight on Raw and had her challenge Asuka for the championship on her first night. That is probably the only reason why Rhea Ripley is getting this match with Asuka at WrestleMania. We had Miz TV WrestleMania edition. I would like to know. Put a comment down below if you guys enjoy Miz TV. If there is one person that says they enjoy Miz TV, I would be shocked. I would be shocked. This segment, the dirt sheet, it's the same thing. I would be shocked if there's people out there that enjoy this. This is literally a channel-changing segment every single week. They're debuting an album, Hey Hey Hop Hop or something like that next week with Bad Bunny. It's so ridiculous. And then Miz goes to challenge Bad Bunny to a match at WrestleMania. Now, I knew this was going to happen. But I thought it would be with Damian Priest and John Morrison, make it a tag team match at WrestleMania. I would take a tag team match over a singles match between Miz and Bad Bunny. Excuse me. Seriously, a singles match between Miz and Bad Bunny? That match needs to be on the pre-show. I'm sorry. It is just not WrestleMania main card worthy. Put that match on the pre-show. If you would have added Damian Priest and John Morrison to that match, you know what? Fine. Because they've been building this up for since the Royal Rumble. We kind of knew they were going to be, that Miz and Bad Bunny were going to be in the same match at WrestleMania. But do we really need to see a singles match between these guys? I would have much rather seen a tag team match than a singles match between Bad Bunny and The Miz. That's gonna be a bad match. That better be on the pre-show. And worse, Damian Priest is now obligated to a manager role at WrestleMania. Great. Miz beats Jeff Hardy in 5 minutes. Poor Jeff Hardy, man. He is in jobber status. When is his contract up? With the company? But after the match, Bad Bunny hits Miz with a guitar, and he says, "I accept your challenge, bitch." So we're getting Bad Bunny versus The Miz at WrestleMania. Can't wait for that 5-star classic. Kofi Kingston versus AJ Styles. But before that, we had a funny segment. I actually thought this was pretty funny with the New Day, AJ, and Omos. They were playing the game of how much does AJ Styles know Omos? And he didn't really know much about Omos. They were saying his favorite color, his favorite wrestler of all time. AJ said his favorite wrestler is AJ Styles. And Omos said Andre the Giant. That was pretty funny. And then Kofi and AJ had a match. Very good match. At the end, AJ was going for the phenomenal forearm. Xavier Woods was playing the trombone. It distracted AJ. Then Omos was stalking Xavier Woods. AJ went for the phenomenal forearm, got caught in the SOS, and Kofi Kingston got the win over AJ Styles. Nothing really much to say about this. It was a good match, and I guess they're making this New Day AJ Styles Omos feud into a comedy feud. But you know what? For me, the segment was pretty funny. We had Sheamus backstage in the interview. He's like, why would you take the interviewer? I'm not sure who this guy is. I'm guessing he's the replacement for Charlie Caruso because Charlie's apparently done with the WWE. I don't know why, actually, but it's pretty sad to see her go. I'm guessing she's going to be ESPN full-time. This geek said, why'd you choose a fight with Bobby Lashley tonight after you fought you fought Drew McIntyre last night? And he was like, because I pick fights with people and I always fight. And then Matt Riddle came around with his scooter. Yes, Matt Riddle is riding around with scooters now. And now they were having a conversation and it led to Sheamus hitting Matt Riddle with the scooter. And more than likely, we're going to get that match at WrestleMania with Sheamus and Riddle for the United States Championship. It should be a great match. No doubt about that. We've seen these two had great matches before, hard-hitting physical matches. But Sheamus, he's been on a losing streak lately. He lost to McIntyre on a Raw. He lost to Bobby Lashley last week. He lost to McIntyre last night. He lost to Bobby Lashley again tonight. Why should I care about Sheamus getting a shot at the U.S. title? I'm not saying I don't, but why should I care? Because the guy's lost like 3 straight matches and probably more matches before that. Sheamus is doing some of the best in-ring work that I can remember from him. But if he's losing all of these matches, then why should he get a shot at the U.S. title? That's all I'm saying. We had Drew McIntyre in a handicap match against Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin of the Hurt Business. McIntyre beats them 2-on-1. And the Hurt Business, Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin were the sacrificial lambs in this. They were backstage. Bobby Lashley was beside himself. He's saying, you couldn't get the job done and put down Drew McIntyre. And he went into a locker room full of jobbers. He's like, you guys want an opportunity. You guys want to be on the card. One of you guys take down Drew McIntyre, and you'll get an opportunity for this championship. It was guys like Humberto Carrillo, Ricochet, Akira Tozawa, the catering crew. The catering crew on Raw. So now I don't like this because Bobby Lashley is supposed to be this unstoppable monster. And now he's going around in the locker room and he's telling guys, if one of you guys can put down Drew McIntyre, I'll give you a shot at the title, because he doesn't want to face Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania, but he's supposed to be this unstoppable monster. To me, that makes absolutely no sense. It makes no sense to me whatsoever. Braun Strowman versus Elias for the second night in a row. I don't know why we needed this. Clearly, I know why we got it, but I don't think we needed a match between these guys again. Braun Strowman beat him in less time than he did last night. He beat him in 3 minutes. After the match, Shane McMahon hit Braun Strowman with the crutch, and Braun no-sold it. He turned around, and Shane McMahon ran up to the stage with a microphone, and then Braun Strowman was like, I'm tired of the games. I'm tired of you running. I'm tired of you faking injuries. If you're a man enough, Shane, it'll be Shane McMahon versus Braun Strowman at WrestleMania. And then Shane McMahon was like, I accept, and I'll face you in any match that you want, because at the end of the day, I'll still get the job done because you're stupid. So now Braun Strowman gets to pick whatever match he wants, which is, I don't care about the match at all. I have no interest in the match, but at least we're not sitting through a Shane McMahon, Braun Strowman singles match at WrestleMania. Because if we got a singles match between these guys, I am getting up and I'm getting a drink at Raymond James Stadium. Speaking of WrestleMania and Raymond James Stadium, they did announce what matches will be happening on night 1 and night 2 so far. Night 1 will be Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks for the SmackDown Women's Championship. And Bad Bunny versus The Miz. So those are the first 3 matches announced for night 1. Night 2, we have Roman Reigns versus Edge for the Universal Championship, which I read today that is going to be changed to a triple threat match. It's probably going to be changed as soon as Friday SmackDown. And then Rhea Ripley versus Asuka for the Raw Women's Championship on night 2. I will be at, in case you guys didn't know, I will be at both night 1 and night 2 of WrestleMania. And for that weekend, I will be doing two separate vlogs, one for night 1 and one for night 2. And then we had the final segment on the show. We had Randy Orton wanting to summon the Fiend. He calls out the Fiend and Alexa Bliss. He says, all these mind games are over. The bullshit's done. I don't want to see them ever again. Tonight I end them. Then Alexa comes out and she's like, be careful what you wish for. She has what do you call those little toy boxes? I don't really remember, but she has a puppet of the Fiend pop out of a play box. And then the lights go down one by one. Then all the lights go out. They come back on with the red lighting. The Fiend is standing in the ring. He's wearing the same outfit he did last night. He's standing behind Orton, and they just stare at each other. Then Orton goes into his bag that he had. He has gasoline tank. He has a gasoline tank, and he sprays it on the Fiend. He's got it on some of the mat. He goes for a match, and then the Fiend moves, and Orton hits him with a RKO. Then Alexa Bliss stands on the apron, and Randy Orton is staring her down. And then the Fiend gets up from the RKO and puts Randy Orton in the Mandible Claw. Sister Abigail, the Fiend, and Alexa Bliss stand tall. And the Fiend is pointing at the WrestleMania sign, which he did that with John Cena last year. And it honestly looked really ridiculous. I don't like you don't need the Fiend out there pointing to the WrestleMania sign. He's the freaking Fiend. Just have him stand there and be creepy as hell. I don't like that they made him do that, but he was pointing at the WrestleMania sign, and then commentary talks about it's made official. They throw up a graphic. It's going to be Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania. I just hope it's not a singles match, because like Shane McMahon and Braun Strowman, if these guys are facing each other in a singles match, no interest. No interest. So WrestleMania is slowly but surely starting to take shape. We have the 5 matches confirmed for 3 on Saturday and 2 on Sunday. We have Shane McMahon and Braun Strowman. We don't know what night that's going to be on. And we have, of course, Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton. Folks, that wraps up your Monday Night Raw review tonight. I want to thank each and every one of you who tuned into the review tonight. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, man. We are 31 subscribers away from 400 subscribers. My goal was to get to 400 subs before WrestleMania. I'm not sure if that's going to happen or not, but make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the latest videos on the channel. Comment down below your guys' thoughts on tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw. Hit that like button if you like what you heard from me in the video. And follow me on Twitter at Conlon_Joseph. And I will see you guys Wednesday night right back here on the channel for your AEW Dynamite review with Wesley Williams. Have a good night. Stay safe. And as always, stay classy.